Good morning, everyone. As always, it's wonderful to be with you this Sunday morning. I am the Reverend William Levwood, affectionately known as Rev Lev. My pronouns are he and him. And I hope you got, we are going to have some crafts as we do for our multi-generational services, so especially if you're children, but also adults who like to enjoy themselves. I mean, you don't have to do it, but I hope you got those art materials as well. So if you're here in person, this is the reminder to silence your phones, and whether you're joining us in person or online, we'll begin as we always do by centering ourselves for worship, taking a deep breath together.
McMahon. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm happy to be your worship associate today. This congregation is a welcoming and inclusive spiritual home where we inspire each other to live our values. Together we care in community, grow in spirit, and act for justice. Whether you're a longtime member or a newcomer or something in between, we're so delighted that you decided to join us today. Welcome.
A simple song, a little song everywhere, by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the dopey alligator and the hawk above, the sky old weasel and the dirt old dove. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher, some sing out loud on a telephone wire, some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher, some sing out loud on a telephone wire, some just clap their hands and paws or anything they got.
If you haven't noticed already, we have a special service today. Our multi-generational services this church year are on the first Sunday of every month, except next month. The first Sunday in November will be our Music Sunday and All Souls service, so that month, the month of November, our multi-generational service will be on the second Sunday. So we're beginning our month with a new Soul Matters theme, the theme of cultivating compassion. This Sunday, the first Sunday, I'm going to introduce the theme as I normally do on the first Sunday. Next Sunday, we'll have a special service about how, as it says in the hymn we sang on Water Communion Sunday, with compassion we will take action, seeking justice for all. We are channeling our energies as a congregation towards defending our democracy. Can I get an amen? Amen. Because as our guest last Sunday, UUSJ's Executive Director Pablo de Jesus said, we belong to each other. So this channeling of our energies in one multi-pronged justice effort to defend our democracy is what the community-wide discussion 2 Sundays ago was about, listening to your ideas so that we could shape this effort. Next Sunday, I'll present our plan in my sermon. Hopefully it'll be inspiring. And then the following Sunday, on October 19th, we'll have another after-church meeting, which is going to be about how, okay, now we've got the plan, how do we organize ourselves to do it as a community all together? Who takes this part of it? Who takes that part of it? Right? Make sense? So next Sunday, I'm going to get you all charged up, and then you'll be charged up all week, and then you'll come ready to organize on the 19th. Also, on the 19th, after we have that after-church organizing meeting, we're going to go learn from the best community organizers around, which is Voice. They have a Homes for All assembly. I hear some people who've been there before. We actually thank you in large part to Charlie Hernandez-White, had the largest number of people from any organization at the last Voice action, which was about mental health and improving services for mental health, especially for youth. This is about affordable housing, and we really want to show out, don't we? We don't want somebody else to get more people than us this time. Right? Right? Right. Okay, so you can sign up. Pat Banks has a sign-up sheet so that it's helpful if we know we might even have a chartered bus. Pat Banks, stand up and show people who you are. So Pat will have a sign-up sheet. We're doing okay, but I think we could double the number of people. We're up to like 18? Yeah, something like that. So I think we can double that. So let's do that. We're going to light our chalice, so I want to invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join in reciting the words that are going to be on the screen. They are the words for our shared UU value of interdependence. They're on two screens, so we'll say the first one and then the next one as we light our chalice. We honor the interdependent web of all existence. With reverence for the great web of life, and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We covenant to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. We create and nurture sustainable relationships of care and respect, mutuality, and justice.
Good morning. I'm Julie Shuck, past president, congregation, longtime RE facilitator. I'm going to read the story today, Madeline Finn and the Blessing of the Animals by Lisa Papp. Wake up, Star, it's a special day. You're up early, Mom says. We don't want to miss the blessing. I say, it only comes once a year. I show Mom the paper again. The celebration comes once a year, Mom says, but blessings are all around us. Like Star, I say, and I give him a hug. That's right, Mom says. I have an idea. Why don't you make some more leaves? After the blessing, you can decorate the windows at the animal shelter. Star helps me gather my leaf-making things. We make big leaves, small leaves, smooth leaves, and pointed leaves. Look who's here, Mom says. Bonnie, I say. Hi, Miss Dimple. Hello, Madeline Finn, Miss Dimple says. Thanks for taking Bonnie to the blessing. We can't wait, I say. Then it's time to go. You're going to get a special blessing today, I tell Star. You too, Bonnie. When we arrive, there's already a long line and lots of animals. I see dogs and cats and even a goat. Do you think they'll run out of blessings, I ask? I don't think so, Mom says. I watch the lady in the brown robe. One by one, the animals come up and she says something to each one. She knows a lot of blessings, I say. Mom laughs. She sure does. Behind us, someone has a goldfish in a bowl. In front, there are 2 ferrets on a leash and a small dog in a basket. How does she know what to say, I ask. I'm not sure, Mom says. Why don't you ask her? Finally, it's our turn. I'm Reverend Mary Alice, the lady says. You can call me Miss Mary. What's your name? Madeline Finn, I say in a quiet voice. This is Bonnie, and this is Star. Miss Mary puts her hands on Bonnie's head and looks into her eyes. Your gift is bringing comfort, she says. Then she touches Star. You have so much joy to share. I look at Bonnie and Star. I can tell they feel good inside. How do you know what to say, I ask. Miss Mary smiles. Everyone has a blessing inside, she says. We just have to look for it.
So we're going to bless animals just like Miss Mary is doing in the story, and then we'll come back to the rest of the story. We got to find out what's going on with those leaves, right? But first we're going to bless our animals. So we're not meeting inside. We're not meeting outside in a park like they are. We're meeting inside. So we had people send in their animals. Bring to mind your animals if you didn't know about that because you're new here, or you just didn't send one in, but we'll have animals on the screen with some music, and then we'll all sing a blessing to bless the animals after that.
Miss Mary smiles. Everyone has a blessing inside, she says. We just have to look for it. Everyone, I ask? That's right, Madeline Finn. Everyone has a gift to share. And once you find it, you have to set it free. Miss Mary, I start to say, do you have another animal for me to bless? She asks. Yes, please, I whisper. Then I get on my toes. They're not here. They're at the shelter. I see, Miss Mary says. She looks at her long line. I can tell she's thinking. Madeline Finn, she finally says, maybe you can bring the blessings to the animal shelters, to the shelter animals. I look at Miss Mary. I don't know how to do that. She smiles. Give me your hands. Miss Mary wraps her hands around mine. Madeline Finn, she says, I bless you to know how special you are. I want you to remember all the blessings inside you. She looks into my eyes, blessings you need to share with the world. She gives my hands a little squeeze. How do you feel now? I nod, but no words come out. Miss Mary smiles again. Here's a gift from my heart to yours. She pretends to put something in my hand, then closes her fingers around it. What is it? I ask. Courage. Did Star enjoy his blessing, Mom asks when we're back in the car. Yes. And Bonnie? Yes, I say, kind of quiet. Everyone got a nice blessing. I open my hands, but there's really nothing there. When we get to the shelter, I tell Miss Dimple all about Bonnie and Star's blessings. How lovely, she says. Thank you, Madeline Finn. I'm proud of you, Mom says. Why don't you do something nice with your leaves while I help Miss Dimple with decorations? Everyone's busy with the dogs, so we go into the cat room. All the kitties stare at me. I don't know what to say. Then Star gives me a nudge, and I remember what Miss Mary told me. Everyone has a blessing inside. I go to the first cage. Hi, Winter, I say. I notice his funny ear. It looks nice on you, I tell him. He puts his paw out, and I touch it. You're going to make someone really happy, I say. I reach into my bag, and I pull out a leaf. I am special, I write, and I tie it to the cage. Next, I see a mama cat and 5 kittens. Hello, Wooly, I say. Her kittens climb all over her, and she doesn't mind. I pick out another leaf, and I will take care of you, I write. I giggle when the kittens play with it. We will make you laugh, I write on the leaf for them. The next cat is hiding. Hello, Twilight, I say in a real soft, but he doesn't turn around. His card says he's 13 years old and still looking for his forever home. I will be your best friend, I write on his leaf, and I fasten it on. Pretty soon, every cat has a leaf and a blessing. Now we visit the dogs. Hi, Shiloh, I say to the first one. I look into his eyes the way Miss Mary did with me. You have a big heart, I think, and he gets a big red leaf. Hello, Lily, I say to the next dog. She's really calm and friendly. I talk to her a while, and she just listens. I like to hear stories, I write on her leaf. Maybe you could be a therapy dog one day, I say. Sammy is in the last cage. He has a big, happy smile and sweet brown eyes. I have a lot of love to give, I write on his leaf. Soon the whole shelter is filled with colorful leaves. Miss Mary is right, I say. Everyone has a blessing inside. I'm decorating the windows when Mom gives me a hug. I saw your leaves, she says. And now she hands one to me. You're my little blessing, it says. And this one I hold on to.
So now I want you to imagine, not just now, but over the next few minutes and throughout the service, that you're going up to an animal just like Madeline Finn does with each animal at the animal shelter. And we want you to write a blessing on a leaf, or 2 or 3, just like she did. So we've provided those already. There's more on the table if you need additional leaves, or, yeah, there are a few more over there. The animal could also be a human animal that you're giving a blessing to as well. After you've written your blessings, cut the leaves out and use the string to tie a loop through the pre-cut hole. We will hang them up later in the service.
Our reading today is Choose to Bless the World by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Ann Parker. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, or offer love. Any of these can draw down the prison door, hoard bread, abandon the poor, obscure what is holy, comply with injustice, or withhold love. You must answer this question. What will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. There is an embrace of kindness that encompasses all life, even yours. And while there is injustice and evil, there moves a holy disturbance, a benevolent rage, a revolutionary love, protesting, urging, insisting, that which is sacred will not be defiled. Those who bless the world live their life as a gesture of thanks for this beauty and this rage. The choice to bless the world can take you into solitude, to search for the sources of power and grace, native wisdom, healing, and liberation. More, the choice will draw you into community, the endeavor shared, the heritage passed on, the companionship of struggle, the importance of keeping faith, the life of ritual and praise, the comfort of human friendship, the company of earth, the chorus of life welcoming you. None of us alone can save the world. Together, this is another possibility waiting.
So it says in the service that we're going to have a pair share, but in the interest of time, we're going to skip over that, and I'm going to start my reflection. I've mentioned this year that we're going to be exploring what's called systematic theology from a book by Rebecca Ann Parker and John Burens called A House for Hope. And in A House for Hope, Rebecca Parker talks about these competing narratives within Christianity. I've talked about this some before, but I don't think I made it clear enough that these are competing narratives from within Christianity. So one is not this idea that our gifts can be used to bless or curse the world. It's the idea that we are so morally bankrupt and sinful as human beings that there's really no hope in saving the world. And so we have to hope for a savior, and also that we have to be disciplined by some authority figure in order to do the right thing. That we need an authoritarian God directing us how to do the right thing, as opposed to a nurturing divinity that pulls the blessings naturally out of us as we grow and develop like a flower or a plant does. That competing narrative happens within Christianity. The liberal side of Christianity leads from there into this idea of creating worlds where people can thrive, social conditions where people can thrive. I also want to share that Jane Goodall passed away at age 91 on October 1st, earlier this week. And in a conversation with Krista Tippett from 2020, it was emphasized that all of nature is animate, and that some of us know this even as adults, but we especially know this as children, that all of nature is alive and sacred, rather than cogs in a wheel or in a machine. Like, there's a version of what an animal is that is just a pre-programmed machine. There's that idea, and in fact, that idea until the middle of the 20th century is the prevailing idea in science. Western science, Jane Goodall says in this conversation, believed humans were the only creatures who made tools. She was taught that she had done her study of chimpanzees wrong. She was told you shouldn't have named the chimpanzees, they should have had numbers. That's science. And you can't talk about personality, mind capable and problem solving, or emotions, because that's unique to us, unique to human beings. At that time, the difference between humans and other animals was thought to be a difference in kind rather than in degree. That we were wholly different, not part of the same interdependent web. Jane Goodall points out that now there's a flurry of research into animal intelligence. Who likes to explore that for their good news? Talking about the close social bonds of elephants, the ways that crows use and even make tools. Now we know the octopus is highly intelligent, and even trees communicate with each other. So there's a shift in Jane Goodall's life from when she does her research with chimpanzees, which is really an empathic practice where she's connecting and learning to communicate and learning the language of the chimpanzees, to when she becomes an advocate for chimpanzees and other apes who are being poached in Tanzania, where she's doing her work. And in this conversation, Krista Tippett points out, she says, you didn't blame them for what they were doing. And Jane Goodall goes on to describe a very liberal Christian and Unitarian Universalist way of thinking about things. She says, there was crippling poverty that was causing the cruelty to the animals. So the only way to address the cruelty to the animals was to address the systemic abuses and cruelty to the human beings in the area. And she did that also through listening and following the lead of the people who knew their own society and their own ecology. And she also points out that she feels like we really need, as humans, it's quite bizarre, she says, and I would use the word tragic, that this most highly intelligent species of humans is destroying the very earth that sustains us. She calls it our only home. And she says it's because there's a disconnect between our clever brain and the human heart that's full of love and compassion. And she truly believes that only when the head and the heart work in harmony can we truly reach our human potential. Only when the head and the heart work in harmony. This reminded me of the interplay between the virtues, the primary virtues in Buddhism, of wisdom and compassion. Compassion is the desire to alleviate suffering, and provide loving kindness and care to others. And wisdom is the know-how, which includes that listening that I just spoke about, so that you know the right thing to do that's loving. I love the way that love is a shapeshifter. It's not always the same thing that people need. Who's heard the phrase, would you like to be held? Or sometimes it's, would you like to be hugged, heard, or helped? Yeah, some folks? Love doesn't look the same. Sometimes when you share a problem with someone, you just want a hug, or you just want them to hold you, either with their attention or literally physically hold you. Sometimes you want to really know that they're listening and to say, I hear you, I see your suffering. And sometimes you want help. You want advice, you want them to problem solve with you. And have you noticed when you give the wrong one of those, it doesn't feel like love to the other person, right? If you give advice and they just want to be heard, they're like, hold up, no thank you. But also if you say, I really hear you, and they're looking for a solution, right? They're like, I mean, that's fine, but like, I really need some help on this one. Could you help me out? So I think that's a good example of how we use wisdom and compassion together to know what the loving action is. And we're learning this as we go, and we can learn from animals and plants. Robin Wall Kimmerer says that she emphasizes that plants and animals are the eldest daughter to humanity. Did you hear me? Plants and animals are the eldest daughter to humanity. We're the youngest child. And as Taylor Swift sings on her new album, every youngest child feels that they were raised in the wild, but now you're home, she says. So, and then she continues, and I want you to imagine that she's singing to all of humanity, that youngest child among all the other children. I'm never going to let you down. I'm never going to leave you out. So many traitors, smooth operators, but I'm never going to break that vow. I'm never going to leave you now. Now. Because now you're home. And when we work with the harmony of our head and heart together, wisdom and compassion, we discover that we are already home as well, right here on this earth and with each other. May it be so, and may we continue to make it so.
Please join us in our closing words. As we extinguish our chalice, I invite you to join me now in our community blessing, which these words of David Bumball slightly adapted. This church is dedicated to the proposition that by embracing our differences and embracing our diversity, we honor the unity that makes us one and binds us forever together in spite of time, death, and the space between the stars. We pause now in silent witness to that unity. Now that we've gathered together in this welcoming and inclusive spiritual home, let us go out into the world nourished, rejuvenated, and inspired to share our values.